Welcome to the June 1st, 2015 regular City Council meeting. We'd like to excuse Councilmember Richens, who's excused tonight, not present. We will begin our meeting with an invocation by Pastor Mark Rice of the Mesa Baptist Church, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance, which will be led by Travis Tingey and Mason Robles of Troop 590. Please stand and remain standing for the invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance.
Great. Dear Father, thank you for what's about to happen this evening. You're here. You give wisdom. I pray that you would give direction to each of the council members, our mayor, our vice mayor, as they lead this session. Father, thank you for each one of our council members, the staff here, for all the work they do. We pray that they would sense your blessing, your encouragement on them, on their families. Again, God, we thank you now for what's about to happen. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Pastor Rice, and thank you, Travis and Mason. The first item on our agenda is awards and recognitions. We don't have any, but I am going to move agenda item 11 to the front of our meeting. That is items from citizens present. Ms. Mickelson, I have 3 cards to speak. Do you have any additional cards?
No, sir.
Okay. So just out of the interest of time and to accommodate the folks that we have in chambers today, we're going to move this to the front of the agenda and allow them to have their opportunity to speak, and then feel free to leave if they so choose. So I'd invite to the podium Rosa Ramirez. Ms. Ramirez, if you're present, please step forward. Is she outside? Okay. Will someone let her know that we're ready to hear from her? How about Ana Gallegos? Is Ana Gallegos present?
Yeah.
Thank you. Please give us your address.
My name is Ana Gallegos, and my address is 644 West Main Street, Lot 27, Mesa, Arizona 85201.
Thank you. You have 3 minutes.
Okay, I'm here to bring your attention once more about them tearing our homes down. The city of Mesa has given us another notice for us to leave out of our homes in 180 days. In the last meeting that we had with the city of Mesa, it was that they were going to give us a letter to each one of our homes stating which were the problems so we could fix them and so our families could be able to stay there. But all of a sudden we got a notice that we have to vacate and leave the premises because that lot, it's not going to be no longer a mobile home station. It's going to be for something else. So they're being racist towards our community. Last time there was nobody to translate us here. I don't know why they keep on saying that only those who are available. Basically, they're meaning about if we have papers that they're going to help us out. That's what they mean by being the right candidate. Why, when all the community rented these homes, why they never asked for papers? It's 150 families. They can't just leave us out of They can't leave us out of our homes. They need to help everybody. They need to help the whole community, not just the ones that have papers, because when the owner rented to those 150 families, he never asked for a social. He never asked for a social when he's charging for taxes. He never asked for a social when he was charging for everything else that he was charging. And all of a sudden, you have to have a green card, or you have to have papers, or you have to be a resident. What is this all about? Why our community why is the city of Mesa being racist against our community? That's all I have to say.
Okay, thank you very much. Luis Madrid. Mr. Madrid, again, if you could state your address, and you have 3 minutes.
Ok. Igual que mi compañera, yo vengo del 644 West Main Street, Mesa Royal Palm. Y respetables a miembros de la ciudad de Mesa, yo no vengo a pedirles nada. Yo vengo a exigirles, porque yo vivo en la ciudad de Mesa, vengo a exigirles que respeten nuestra vivienda, porque se nos está dando 180 días para desalojarlas sin darnos una oportunidad de removernos a otras propiedades, sin darnos la oportunidad o sin ustedes pagarnos nuestras propiedades que nosotros hemos comprado. Somos familias que ganamos el mínimo en la ciudad de Mesa, somos familias pobres, lo sé, pero tenemos derechos a ser respetados como familia. Todas las personas que ve usted aquí tenemos los papeles de nuestras trailas, somos dueños de nuestras trailas. Sé que no somos dueños de la propiedad de la tierra, pero ustedes tienen el derecho a pagarnos la obligación, porque son ustedes los que están ahí, gracias a nosotros, por los impuestos que nosotros hemos pagado día con día, mes con mes. Y como dijo mi compañera, si se está usando el racismo aquí, vamos a llegar hasta las últimas consecuencias. Ya se está interponiendo una queja, porque la vez pasada, como hoy lo están viendo, nadie me está traduciendo. Es todo lo que tengo que decir.
Gracias. Is Rosa Ramirez in the room? Ms. Ramirez, if you could please give us your address, and you have 3 minutes.
Yes. Mi nombre es Rosa Isela Ramírez Rodríguez, ¿verdad? Yo también vivo en 644 West Main Street, lote 118, el código postal 85201. Y pues yo voy a ser muy breve, ¿verdad? Sé que el tiempo es corto, queremos decir mucho, pero solamente yo quiero decirles con todo mi respeto, ¿verdad?, que estamos viviendo una situación desesperante. Y yo entiendo que ustedes necesitan ese lugar para algo mejor, que es un lugar que quizás para ustedes se mira feo. Y al dueño sabemos, ¿verdad?, y él debería de estar aquí. Sabemos que no son ustedes nada más, ustedes están haciendo su trabajo, pero si ya negociaron con el dueño, el señor Jim Ham, exigimos por favor que él dé la cara, o su representante, para que nos dé una respuesta. Y si a ustedes les estorbamos, que es lo que estamos mirando, y quieren que nos vayamos, no nos vamos a ir así nada más. Como ustedes comprenderán, pagamos, señores. Si usted tiene una propiedad, ustedes van a entender. Yo tengo aquí un título de mi propiedad, al igual que las 150 familias, y lo pueden mirar si gustan y sacar copia. Tengo aquí mi recibo que yo acabo de pagar hoy, que ustedes no saben qué tuve yo que hacer para juntar esta cantidad para mis hijos, para no irnos a la calle en medio de este calor. Quiero que entiendan y que se pongan la mano en el corazón, por favor. Y también yo tengo mis taxes pagados, está pagado, y estamos desesperados porque alguien nos escuche. No nada más que se lleguen los 180 días y acordonen el área o metan máquinas, porque no somos animales, somos seres humanos. Ahorita venimos en el calor junto con estos niños, con riesgos a deshidratarnos. Hay personas enfermas en silla de ruedas. Por favor, tengan misericordia de nosotros. Yo sé que muchos de ustedes conocen de Dios. Por favor, en el nombre de Jesús, yo pido misericordia. Soy representante de esta familia, soy nada más una servidora y no somos criminales, por favor. Es todo lo que tengo que decir. Gracias. Y Dios que los bendiga y toque sus corazones.
Okay, thank you. Unfortunately, because this item is not on our agenda, we cannot discuss the specific details and specifically respond to your comments. And I'll ask Councilmember Luna, Dave, if you don't mind to translate this. I just want folks to know that the city is in ongoing meetings related to this issue, and there have been community meetings that hopefully you participated in. There will be additional community meetings, and city staff is continuing to work on this issue. Thank you.
Ahorita no podemos discutir esto porque no está en la agenda. Pero va a haber juntas con la ciudad para discutir este tema en el futuro.
Las veces que hubo juntas no se nos dio una respuesta clara. No hubo una respuesta clara. La persona que ustedes mandaron a hablar con nosotros nos sacó vueltas al asunto y no nos dio una respuesta de lo que iba a pasar con nuestras trailers. Solo nos prometió que si nosotros arreglábamos nuestras trailers.
I apologize, sir, for interrupting, but unfortunately, we're breaking the law if we engage in a dialogue. So would you just let him know that we are anxious to have a dialogue, but we need to do it outside of a public meeting with staff?
Lo siento mucho, pero ahorita no podemos discutir nada sobre este tema porque no está programada en la agenda.
Pero nosotros queremos, ¿por qué no traducen lo que nosotros hablamos en español? ¿Por qué no traducieron lo que nosotros hablamos en español? Muchas de las personas presentes, con todo respeto, no hablan español. Too many people in front, they don't speak Spanish, they don't understand what I say in Spanish. I can speak English, so I try to say in Spanish, but the whole people see is nobody translating to speak what I say.
Okay. Thank you. I'm sorry, but that's all we can do legally to respond to the issues that you raised. The next item on our agenda is the consent agenda. And I'd invite Kevin Christopher forward to read the consent agenda. And we have received a card regarding agenda item 10A.
Well,
So,
we
Mr.
want you guys keep your comments to yourself because this is still recording. And last time we were walking out, you guys were still commenting with each other, and we could hear everything on the recording.
Mr. Christopher, we're going to remove agenda item 10A from the agenda. And why don't we wait a moment to allow the folks that are exiting the room. Okay, thank you for attending. Mr. Christopher, we are going to remove agenda item 10A, but would you please read the remainder of the agenda?
Mayor and council members, these are the items on the consent agenda. All items listed with an asterisk will be considered as a group by the City Council and will be enacted with one motion. There will be no separate discussion unless a council member or citizen requests, in which event the item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered as a separate item. If a citizen wants an item removed, a blue card must be completed and given to the city clerk prior to the council's vote on the consent agenda. Item 2, approval of minutes of previous meetings as written. Item 3A, act on liquor license application for Corner Store, 809 Dobson Road. Item 3B, act on liquor license application for TBK Beverage Company, 2452 West Birchwood Avenue. Item 3C, act on liquor license application for Tasty Joe's Asian Diner, 1152 North Power Road. Item 4A, act on contract to purchase 2 upgraded medium-duty cab and chassis utility vehicles equipped with service body and crane for the Fleet Services Department. This purchase is funded by the Vehicle Replacement Fund and the Fleet Services Department operating budget. Item 4B, act on emergency purchase for a 3-month agreement for landscape maintenance services for parks and retention basins, Zone 3, for the Parks, Recreation, and Commercial Facilities Department. Item 4C, act on contract to purchase 57 FileNet software licenses for the Information Technology and Police Departments. Item 4D, act on contract to purchase 1 replacement CNG-powered heavy-duty front-loading refuse truck for the Solid Waste Management Department. This purchase is funded by the Utility Replacement, Extension, and Renewal Fund. Item 4E, act on contract to purchase replacement ballistic body armor for the Police Department. This purchase is funded by the Arizona Department of Homeland Security grant funds. Item 4F, act on dollar limit increase to the term contract for helicopter airframe parts and repairs as requested by the Police Department Aviation Unit. Item 4G, act on 1-year renewal of term contract for spray marking paint for the materials and supply warehouse for various city departments. Item 4H, act on contract to purchase 1 replacement medium-duty cab and chassis vehicle with a flatbed body for the Energy Resources Department. This purchase is funded by the Utility Replacement, Extension, and Renewal Fund. Item 4I, act on dollar limit increase to the term contract for concrete installation and repair services for the Transportation, Energy, and Water Resources Departments. Item 4J, act on a 1-year renewal of term contract for streetlight and traffic safety poles, mast arms, and anchor bolts for the Materials and Supply Warehouse for the Transportation Department. Item 4K, act on a 3-year term contract for mainline and short line pavement marking services for the Transportation Department. Item 4L, act on a 1-year renewal of the term contract for sludge grinder repairs and replacements for the Water Resources Department. Item 5A, act on resolution authorizing and supporting the submittal of a grant application by the Arizona Museum of Natural History to the Tohono O'odham Nation to enhance the Mesa Grande site infrastructure. Item 5B, act on resolution authorizing and supporting the submittal of a grant application by the City of Mesa Fire and Medical Department to the Tohono O'odham Nation to purchase high-fidelity training mannequins in order to enhance life-saving training and simulations. Item 5C, act on resolution authorizing and supporting the submittal of a grant application by Jean Lewis Boxing Club to the Tohono O'odham Nation to provide supportive educational activities, classes, and instruction to at-risk students. Item 5D, act on resolution authorizing and supporting the submittal of a grant application by Jean Lewis Boxing Club to the Pascua Yaqui Tribe to provide supportive educational activities, classes, and instruction to at-risk students. Item 5E, act on resolution authorizing and supporting the submittal of a grant application by Visit Mesa to the Fort McDowell Yavapai Nation to support sales and marketing to promote tourism in the area. Item 5F, act on resolution approving and authorizing the city manager to execute all documents related to the IBM software license review findings by requiring additional licenses. Item 5G, act on resolution approving and authorizing the city manager to enter into a grant agreement with the City of Tucson to accept funding for the police department's violent offender unit for overtime. These funds are made available from a high-intensity drug trafficking area grant agreement with the City of Tucson. Item 5H, act on resolution approving and authorizing the city manager to enter into an intergovernmental agreement and related documents for the acquisition and redevelopment of a portion of the former Powell Junior High School site located at 936 South Extension Road for construction of Fiesta Sports Park. Item 5I, act on resolution approving and authorizing the city manager to enter into an intergovernmental agreement and related documents for the acquisition and redevelopment of the former Mesa Junior High School site located at 828 East Broadway Road for construction at Eagles Park. Item 5J, act on resolution approving and authorizing the city manager to enter into an intergovernmental agreement with the town of Gilbert for shared use of information technology and other related services. There is no financial obligation to the city pertaining to this agreement. Item 6A, introduction of ordinance adopting new Title I, Chapter 33, candidate election dates of the Mesa City Code relating to the establishment of election dates and term of office for candidates for the offices of mayor and city council member. Items 7A, 7B, and 7C have been removed from the agenda. Item 8A, act on subdivision plat Desert Place at Morrison Ranch Phase 3, the 7,000 to 7,200 blocks of East Guadalupe Road, located west to the southwest corner of Guadalupe and Sossaman Roads. Items 9A through 9G involve action on the following resolution and subdivision plats related to the Pacific Proving Grounds North Development Cadence. Item 9A, approving and authorizing the city manager to enter into a community maintenance agreement with PPGN Ray and PPGN Core. Item 9B, map of dedication, Ellsworth Road, the 5200 block of South Ellsworth Road located south of Ray Road. Item 9C, final plat, Crismon Road, the 5300 to 5500 blocks of South Crismon Road located south of Ray Road. Item 9D, final plat, Cadence Parkway, the 9200 to 9700 blocks of East Cadence Parkway located south of Ray Road between Ellsworth Road and Crismon Road. Item 9E, final plat, Parcel A at Pacific Proving Ground North, the 9500 to 9600 blocks of East Cadence Parkway located south of Ray Road between Ellsworth Road and Crismon Road. Item 9F, final plat, Parcel B at Pacific Proving Ground North, the 9600 to 9700 blocks of East Cadence Parkway located south of Ray Road between Ellsworth Road and Crismon Road. And item 9G, final plat, Parcel C at Pacific Proving Ground North, the 9700 to 9800 blocks of East Cadence Parkway located south of Ray Road between Ellsworth Road and Crismon Road. Mayor and council members, these are the items on the consent agenda.
Thank you, Mr. Christopher. A motion's been made by Vice Mayor Kavanaugh and seconded by Councilmember Glover for the approval of the consent agenda. Please cast your vote. The vote is unanimous in favor of adopting the consent agenda. The next item on our agenda is item 10A. That item is to take action on the adoption of the tentative proposed fiscal year 2015-2016 budget plan. Ms. Mickelson, I have 2 blue cards. Are there any additional cards?
No, Mayor, there are not.
Okay. We have 2 cards. One is from Brian Jeffries, the other from David Jeffries. David has asked Brian to speak on his behalf. So, Brian, I'd invite you to the podium. Please state your name and address, and you would have a total of 6 minutes to speak if you'd like.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of City Council. It's great to see you all, and I don't envy you with the challenges you face, but thanks for all of your leadership on so many issues facing our great city. And I'm only here today because it is budget time, and we are looking at the budget. And I'm not here to protest the budget. I just want to kind of start a community dialogue with our great citizens of this city. And I want to start by just recognizing that we are cutting yet again. Here we are looking at the fire department, fire and medical budget, looking forward, and we are cutting it yet again. And I just wanted to give some perspective and make sure the community is a little bit aware of where we've come from and really where we're going, so we can start communicating with them directly, because this city still has challenges with the way its revenue picture looks and the way it finances itself. Those issues have not gone away despite all the great work and leadership by you all. And let me give you just a quick chronological order. 2003, financial forecast, bad news for Mesa. 2003, police fire officials warn Mesa about public safety issues. 2004, Mesa faces more cuts, fees, and proposed budget. 2005, Mesa population continues to increase and emergency response times increase by 10 seconds. 2006, Mesa population also continues to increase and emergency response times increase by yet another 17 seconds. 2006, Mesa fire chief goes before the city council, and during that period he reported that the average population served per station in our city is increasing by 4,000 to 5,000 every 10 years. Also, when analyzing 10 comparable cities very similar to the city of Mesa, we discovered the average number of firefighters and paramedics per 1,000 citizens is 1.4, yet in Mesa it's 0.8 or below. And to note that number, that is 30% dropped when you look at the city of Mesa back in 1990. 30% drop of our staffing. And at that time, he warned everybody, Mesa Fire is at a point of no return. He said we've got to either reallocate some new resources or identify a new funding source, and I emphasize new funding source. 2006, the insurance services rating, ISO rating for our Mesa Fire is reduced from a 2 to a 3 for the first time in Mesa Fire Department history, dropping us below the vast majority of our cities and to our neighbors, rather. 2007, East Valley Tribune report, Mesa Fire crew battles a surge in calls, and the standards that the fire department has set to try to get to our folks 44 minutes or less 90% of the time is now down to 63% of the time. 2008, Engine 2201, my old engine company, it disappears, never to return, ran calls out of that station right down the street, and those calls were absorbed by the rest of the crews. 2008 also, Engine 2205. Engine 2205 disappeared. Lots of calls over in the middle of the city, down around Greenfield, where a lot of our elderly live. From 2008 to 2013, massive cuts to the fire department. We all know what we went through back then. We did it together. We found all kinds of solutions, and the upside was that we found lots of good solutions to become more efficient and to try to find ways to save money. We got a little reprieve. We came up with the TRV program, and though it has been a great celebration by the city still doesn't really fund our TRV program the way it should. Later that year, 2013, Gary Nelson wrote an article, Mesa Fire Department, feeling the strain of yet more budget cuts. 2013, looking back since 2005 when I began this discussion, our response times then had grown by another 75 seconds. 2014, our city continues to grow. Lots of good things happening thanks to all of your leadership. We brought in Eastmark. Eastmark put a sign up, says we're going to be building you a brand new fire station soon, and DMB is going to help us fund it. That fire station is not happening anytime soon, nor the staff to run calls in there. And here's an important point to make there. There's a new community going in south of there called Encore. Encore is going to be a 55-plus community. All estimations by City of Mesa estimations are that this city is going to be over 500,000 by 2020. And a lot of the folks that are going to live there south where that fire station should be are going to need our help. They're going to be baby boomers and beyond who are going to be the biggest users of our medical services. So where does this take us all? This year, first quarter 2015, guess what? We're up over 10% over last year of our call volumes year to year. How much longer can this continue? I'm going to tell you how long. 2020, let me back up. We got a reprieve from this just last year. The federal government gave us $12.5 million to expand on this wonderful, innovative TRV program that we have. We now call our community care program. Great news. The federal government is now subsidizing the City of Mesa Fire Department to the tune of thousands upon thousands of calls that used to be served by our frontline units. Okay, so when 2020 comes around, if the federal government says, hey, great job, everybody, we love your program, we hope it goes nationwide, but it was an experiment, we're going to pull your funding now. By that time, the Mesa program conservatively will be running at least 5,000 calls a year and could be upwards of 10,000 calls. So that'll be 10,000 calls let back on the City of Mesa that we don't have funding for. We're going to have over 500,000 residents by the Mesa's own numbers by that point. Plus, we add about 1,000 calls a year on average every single year. So you're talking at least 15,000, if not 20,000 additional calls by 2020 with no new emergency units to serve them. My point is that I'm not here to be critical. We started this dialogue in the early 2000s, and of course the recession got us off track. We've been keeping this thing together with Scotch tape and bubble gum and really doing our best and innovating and doing great things. But we have got to start talking to our citizens about this because this city does not fund itself well. If we want to keep core government, public safety there in 4 minutes or less over the next 10 years, we have got to have a real conversation about revenues around here. And this stuff isn't about, our folks get paid to go on the calls and they're going to get paid and they're going to go there and they're going to do their best every single time. But it makes a difference to our citizens whether we're there in 4 minutes or where Glendale has just found itself on average of 8 minutes. That's life or death stuff there. And I just don't want us to be there. And that's why I wanted to raise this issue as we go into another budget season of cutting the fire department once again. Thank you for hearing me out today. Thank you, and I look forward to increased dialogue over the next coming year on this very important topic. Again, have a great evening all.
Thank you, Mr. Jeffries. That was the final item on our agenda. Ms. Mickelson, we didn't receive any other items from citizens present?
No,
correct?
Mayor.
Okay. I would entertain a motion to adjourn. Oh, why don't we vote on the consent agenda? It's probably a good idea. Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. So we have voted on the consent agenda. We need to vote on item 10A. Thank you. I apologize for my confusion. Do we have a motion made by Councilmember Glover, seconded by Councilmember Kavanaugh? Thank you. Please cast your vote. Thank you. It is unanimous in favor of agenda item 10A. All right. Now I think I've caught up with myself. No additional items from citizens present, Ms. Mickelson?
No request, Mayor.
Okay. Thank you very much. I would entertain a motion to adjourn. Moved and seconded. All in favor, please say aye. 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 Thank you. We are adjourned.